Hey everyone, welcome to Homes for Beginners, where I show you how to do repairs around the house yourself. In this video here, I'll be showing you how to replace the fuel pump on a Honda 5 horsepower engine. This is a GC160 engine. I will do a quick carburetor clean as well while it's apart. While it still runs, the pump does leak out of the vent hole when running, which would mean the diaphragm inside is most likely broken. The fuel pump can also prevent the engine from running. First is removing the fuel tank. It's held on with two 10mm bolts and a 10mm nut at the bottom of the tank. Then pull off the tank. To remove the air box, along with the brackets and carburetor, this is held on with two more 10mm bolts. Disconnect the crankcase vent going to the air box. Pull off the air box. The gaskets will most likely be stuck in place, so you'll need a little force to break down the assembly. There are gaskets on each side of the carburetor and mounting plates. Remove the governor linkage and spring. Remove the crankcase vacuum line for the fuel pump. Remove the fuel tank line, use pliers, pull off the line clamp, and you may need to twist the line with pliers as they can stick over time. For removing the fuel pump, it's held on with two Phillips screws. The removal is easier with everything apart, as these screws may be seized and there isn't enough room for tools with everything in place. In order to ensure I don't lose any fasteners or small components, I'm using my OEM Tools nut cup, model number 25115 from Mobile Distributor Supply. The rubber base is to ensure it doesn't scratch the surface it's sitting on, magnetic bottom, and chemical resistant construction. It's a must-have for anyone working on engines. A link to this will be included in the video description. Once that fuel pump is loose, finally is disconnecting the last fuel line from the fuel pump, which feeds the carburetor. There is a small hose clamp. Slide this off the connection using pliers. The line was stuck. I used pliers to help break it free. I won't cover it fully in this video, but I did give the carburetor a quick clean, as it's never been cleaned on this generator since it was purchased from new and it's about 20 years old. It was fully disassembled. I did use some cleaner along with compressed air. After that, it did get reassembled. The new fuel pump is installed. This was purchased from a local small engine dealer. I bought a reputable replacement, as some of the cheaper versions can have a premature failure. The one line was showing some signs of deterioration. While these are molded lines, I used a piece of generic clear fuel line as a replacement. It was cut to size, a little longer, so it does have a more gentle curve and doesn't become kinked, preventing fuel from getting to the carburetor. The hose clamps are reinstalled and the carburetor is put back into place on the bracket. The engine gets a quick clean around the carburetor area too, as it's easier to do when everything's apart. The governor linkage and spring get reattached. When working on small engines, especially if it's something new to you, it's always a good idea to use your phone to take photos along the way. Certain components may have a specific orientation or location, so it's important to get this right during reassembly. Don't forget to install the crankcase vacuum line to the fuel pump. Reinstall a heat shield between the carburetor and engine. Replace any gaskets as needed too. To hold everything in place, I put the bolts in by hand first, just before getting the air box. Finally is reinstalling that air box. Then tighten the bolts when everything is in place for the air box. Always check over the linkage to ensure it's not catching up on something. Reinstall that crankcase vent going to the air box. Finally is reinstalling the fuel tank with those three 10mm fasteners. Once done, start the engine and ensure it's running good. There are no fuel air adjustment needles on this particular engine. It only has an idle speed screw. Let the engine warm up and adjust that speed if needed. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to give it a like and drop a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more home DIY videos. Thank you for watching.